Sample question paper. Created by Couture Foundation. On ICSE's professional program. Group 2 elective paper 7.4. Banking and Insurance Laws and Practice. Lesson 22. Functions in Insurance and Compliance related thereto. Part B. Insurance and Compliance Law and Practice. Lesson 22. Functions in Insurance and Compliance. Part B. Sample question paper. Total 100 marks. Part I. Short answer questions. 40 marks. Answer all questions. Each question carries 4 marks. Q1. Define corporate governance in the context of insurance companies. Answer. Corporate governance refers to the system of rules, practices, and processes by which an insurance company is directed and controlled. It ensures transparency, accountability, and protection of policyholders' interests while complying with regulatory requirements. Q2. What are the key responsibilities of the board of directors in an insurance company? Answer. The board of directors is responsible for setting the company's strategic objectives and ensuring effective risk management and regulatory compliance. It also oversees management performance and safeguards the interests of policyholders and stakeholders. Q3. Explain the concept of fit and proper criteria for directors. Answer. The fit and proper criteria ensure that directors possess integrity, competence, financial soundness, and a good reputation. This requirement helps maintain trust and ensures that only qualified individuals manage insurance companies. Q4. What is the role of the audit committee? Answer. The audit committee oversees financial reporting, internal controls, and audit processes within the company. It ensures transparency, accuracy of financial statements, and compliance with legal and regulatory standards. Q5. State the functions of the Nomination and Remuneration Committee, NRC. Answer. The NRC is responsible for identifying qualified individuals for board positions and senior management roles. It also determines remuneration policies to ensure fair compensation aligned with performance and regulatory guidelines. Q6. What is a compliance management framework? Answer. A compliance management framework is a structured system to ensure that the company adheres to all applicable laws, regulations, and internal policies. It includes monitoring, reporting, and corrective mechanisms to manage compliance risks. Q7. Briefly explain AML, anti-money laundering, in insurance. Answer. AML refers to measures taken to prevent the use of insurance products for money laundering activities. It involves customer due diligence, transaction monitoring, and reporting suspicious activities to authorities. Q8. What is PMLA and its relevance to insurance companies? Answer. The Prevention of Money Laundering Act, PMLA, is a law aimed at preventing and controlling money laundering activities. Insurance companies must comply with PMLA by implementing AML procedures and reporting suspicious transactions. Q9. Define the role of key managerial personnel, KMPs. Answer. KMPs are senior executives responsible for the day-to-day management and decision-making of the company. They ensure implementation of board policies, regulatory compliance, and efficient operations. Q10. What is outsourcing in insurance and why is it regulated? Answer. Outsourcing in insurance involves delegating certain business activities to third-party service providers. It is regulated to ensure data security, service quality, and that the insurer remains accountable for outsourced functions. Part 2. Essay-type questions, 40 marks. Answer any 5 questions. Each question carries 8 marks. Q1. Discuss the importance of corporate governance in the insurance sector and its regulatory framework. Answer. Corporate governance is vital in the insurance sector because insurers manage large volumes of public funds and are responsible for honoring long-term financial commitments to policyholders. Strong governance ensures transparency, accountability, and ethical conduct in all operations. It builds trust among stakeholders, including policyholders, investors, and regulators, which is essential for the stability and credibility of the insurance industry. Effective governance also helps in identifying, managing, and mitigating risks, thereby reducing the chances of financial mismanagement and fraud. In the insurance sector, poor governance can lead to serious consequences such as insolvency, loss of reputation, and failure to meet policyholder obligations. Therefore, insurers are required to maintain high standards of governance, including robust internal controls, clear reporting structures, and ethical business practices. It also ensures fair treatment of customers and promotes long-term sustainability. The regulatory framework for corporate governance in India is primarily governed by the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India, IRDAI. IRDAI issues detailed guidelines on board composition, roles and responsibilities of directors, formation of mandatory committees, and disclosure requirements. Additionally, insurance companies must comply with the provisions of the Companies Act, 2013. These regulations collectively ensure that insurers function in a transparent, disciplined, and accountable manner, thereby protecting policyholders' interests. Q2. Explain the role and responsibilities of the board of directors and independent directors in insurance companies. Answer. The board of directors is the highest governing body in an insurance company and is responsible for setting the overall strategic direction and ensuring effective governance. It formulates policies, approves business plans, and oversees the implementation of strategies by management. The board is also responsible for ensuring compliance with regulatory requirements, maintaining strong internal controls, and managing risks effectively. Additionally, it safeguards the interests of policyholders and ensures that the company operates in a financially sound and ethical manner. Independent directors play a key role in enhancing the objectivity and fairness of the board's decisions. They are not involved in the day-to-day management of the company and are free from any material or financial relationships that could influence their judgment. Their primary responsibility is to provide unbiased opinions, challenge management decisions when necessary, and ensure that the company adheres to high standards of governance. They also contribute to the functioning of various board committees such as the Audit Committee and Nomination and Remuneration Committee. By bringing independent perspectives, they help strengthen transparency, accountability, and credibility in the company's operations. Q3. Describe the structure and functions of various mandatory committees of the board. Answer. Insurance companies are required to constitute various mandatory committees of the board to ensure effective governance and specialized oversight. These committees are formed with a mix of executive, non-executive, and independent directors to maintain balance and objectivity in decision-making. One of the key committees is the Audit Committee, which is responsible for overseeing financial reporting, internal audits, and the effectiveness of internal control systems. It ensures that financial statements are accurate and comply with regulatory standards. The Nomination and Remuneration Committee, NRC, is responsible for identifying qualified individuals for board and senior management positions and determining appropriate remuneration policies aligned with performance and regulatory norms. Another important committee is the Risk Management Committee, which identifies, assesses, and monitors various risks faced by the company, including operational, financial, and compliance risks. The Policyholders Protection Committee focuses on addressing customer grievances and ensuring fair treatment of policyholders. These committees enhance efficiency by allowing focused attention on specific areas and support the board in discharging its responsibilities effectively. They play a crucial role in strengthening corporate governance, improving transparency, and ensuring regulatory compliance in insurance companies. Q4. Discuss the compliance management processes and procedures followed in insurance companies. Answer. Compliance management in insurance companies involves a structured approach to ensure adherence to all applicable laws, regulations, and internal policies. A robust compliance management framework includes clearly defined roles, responsibilities, and procedures for identifying, assessing, and managing compliance risks. The process begins with the identification of regulatory requirements issued by authorities such as IRDAI and other applicable laws. Companies establish internal policies and procedures to align with these regulations. Regular monitoring and reporting systems are implemented to track compliance status across various departments. Compliance officers play a key role in ensuring that all activities are conducted in accordance with legal and regulatory requirements. Training and awareness programs are conducted for employees to ensure they understand compliance obligations. Internal audits and periodic reviews are carried out to detect any gaps or violations. In case of non-compliance, corrective actions are taken promptly to mitigate risks and prevent recurrence. Additionally, insurance companies maintain proper documentation and reporting mechanisms to demonstrate compliance to regulators. Effective compliance management not only helps avoid legal penalties but also enhances the company's reputation and operational efficiency. It ensures ethical conduct, protects policyholders' interests, and contributes to the overall stability of the organization. Q5. Explain AML/PMLA compliance requirements and their impact on insurance operations. Answer. Anti-Money Laundering (AML) and the Prevention of Money Laundering Act (PMLA) impose strict compliance requirements on insurance companies to prevent misuse of insurance products for illegal financial activities. Insurers must implement robust AML frameworks that include customer due diligence (CDD), know your customer (KYC) procedures, and ongoing monitoring of transactions. These measures help verify the identity of policyholders, assess risk profiles, and detect suspicious activities such as unusual premium payments or early policy withdrawals. Under PMLA, insurance companies are required to maintain records of transactions, report suspicious transactions to the Financial Intelligence Unit (FIUINT), and appoint a designated compliance officer. They must also establish internal controls and conduct regular training programs for employees to ensure awareness and adherence to AML guidelines. Non-compliance can result in severe penalties, legal consequences, and reputational damage. The impact of AML/PMLA compliance on insurance operations is significant. It enhances transparency and strengthens risk management practices within the organization. However, it may also increase operational costs due to the need for advanced monitoring systems, documentation, and compliance personnel. Despite these challenges, effective AML compliance builds trust with regulators and customers, protects the company from financial crimes, and contributes to the overall integrity and stability of the financial system. Q6. Describe the role of audit and auditors in ensuring compliance and transparency. Answer. Audit and auditors play a crucial role in maintaining compliance and transparency in insurance companies. The audit function involves systematic examination of financial records, internal controls, and operational processes to ensure accuracy, reliability, and adherence to regulatory requirements. Auditors provide an independent and objective assessment of the company's financial statements, which enhances credibility and stakeholder confidence. Internal auditors focus on evaluating the effectiveness of internal control systems, risk management practices, and compliance with internal policies. They identify weaknesses or gaps in processes and recommend corrective actions to improve efficiency and compliance. External auditors, on the other hand, conduct an independent review of financial statements to ensure they present a true and fair view of the company's financial position in accordance with applicable accounting standards and laws. The Audit Committee of the Board oversees the audit process and ensures that auditors function independently without any undue influence. Regular audits help detect fraud, errors, and non-compliance at an early stage, thereby reducing risks. They also ensure proper disclosure and transparency in financial reporting. Overall, the audit function strengthens corporate governance by promoting accountability, improving operational efficiency, and ensuring that the company complies with legal and regulatory requirements. Q7. Explain the concept of whistleblower policy and its significance in corporate governance. Answer. A whistleblower policy is a mechanism that allows employees, stakeholders, or other individuals to report unethical behavior, fraud, or violations of laws and company policies within an organization. It provides a secure and confidential channel for reporting concerns without fear of retaliation or victimization. This policy encourages transparency and accountability by enabling early detection of misconduct. In insurance companies, a whistleblower policy is an important component of corporate governance. It helps in identifying issues such as financial irregularities, corruption, compliance breaches, and misuse of authority. By allowing employees to raise concerns freely, the organization can take timely corrective actions and prevent potential losses or reputational damage. The significance of this policy lies in its ability to strengthen ethical standards and build a culture of integrity within the organization. It assures employees that their concerns will be taken seriously and investigated fairly. Additionally, regulatory authorities often mandate the implementation of such policies to enhance governance practices. Overall, a whistleblower policy contributes to effective risk management, improves organizational transparency, and reinforces stakeholder confidence. It acts as an essential tool for promoting good governance and safeguarding the long-term interests of the company. Part 3, Case Study, 20 marks. Read the case carefully and answer all questions. Each question carries 2 marks. Case Study. An insurance company faced regulatory scrutiny due to lapses in compliance reporting, weak internal controls, and failure to detect suspicious transactions. The board had delegated responsibilities, but oversight was ineffective. The company also outsourced certain operations without proper monitoring. Questions. Q1. Identify 2 major governance failures in the case. Answer. 2 major governance failures are weak internal controls and ineffective oversight by the board. Additionally, failure to detect suspicious transactions indicates poor compliance monitoring. Q2. Which committee should have detected compliance lapses? Answer. The audit committee should have detected the compliance lapses through its oversight of internal controls and financial reporting. The risk management compliance committee also shares responsibility for monitoring such risks. Q3. What role does AML compliance play in this scenario? Answer. AML compliance is crucial for detecting and reporting suspicious transactions. In this case, failure in AML systems led to regulatory scrutiny and increased risk of financial crime. Q4. How could outsourcing risks have been mitigated? Answer. Outsourcing risks could have been mitigated through proper due diligence, clear contracts, and continuous monitoring of service providers. Strong internal controls and accountability mechanisms should also have been in place. Q5. What corrective actions should the board take immediately? Answer. The board should strengthen internal controls, improve compliance systems, and ensure effective oversight. It should also review outsourcing arrangements and take corrective action against lapses. Trophy Gold Medal Classical Building Woman Student. Test yourself. Q1. Briefly explain the following terms. AML. Answer. AML refers to laws, regulations, and procedures designed to prevent criminals from disguising illegally obtained money as legitimate income. In insurance, it involves customer verification, transaction monitoring, and reporting suspicious activities. B. Whistleblower policy. Answer. A whistleblower policy allows employees or stakeholders to report unethical practices, fraud, or violations within an organization. It ensures confidentiality and protection against retaliation, promoting transparency and accountability. C. eKYC. Answer. eKYC is a digital process of verifying a customer's identity using electronic documents and databases. It simplifies onboarding, reduces paperwork, and ensures compliance with regulatory requirements. D. KMP. Answer. KMP refers to senior executives responsible for managing the day-to-day operations of a company. They play a key role in implementing strategies, ensuring compliance, and achieving organizational objectives. E-governance. Answer. E-governance refers to the use of digital technologies to improve the delivery of government services and enhance transparency. It helps in efficient communication, faster processing, and better accessibility of services. Q2. What are the mandated committees that insurance companies should constitute in compliance? Answer. Insurance companies are required to constitute several mandatory committees to ensure effective corporate governance and regulatory compliance. These committees function under the supervision of the board of directors and focus on specific areas of oversight. One of the most important is the audit committee, which oversees financial reporting, internal audits, and the adequacy of internal control systems. It ensures transparency and accuracy in financial disclosures. The Nomination and Remuneration Committee, NRC, is responsible for identifying and recommending suitable candidates for board and senior management positions and for framing remuneration policies aligned with performance and regulatory norms. The Risk Management Committee plays a vital role in identifying, assessing, and mitigating various risks such as operational, financial, and compliance risks. Another key committee is the Policyholders Protection Committee, which ensures that policyholders' interests are safeguarded and grievances are addressed efficiently. Additionally, insurers may have an investment committee to oversee investment decisions and ensure compliance with regulatory guidelines. These committees help in specialized decision-making, improve operational efficiency, and strengthen internal controls. By distributing responsibilities among different committees, insurance companies can ensure better governance, transparency, and adherence to regulatory requirements, thereby protecting stakeholders' interests. Q3. Discuss the role and responsibilities of board and key management persons. Answer. The board of directors, board, is the highest governing authority in an insurance company and is responsible for setting the strategic direction and ensuring effective governance. The board formulates policies, approves business plans, and ensures that the company operates in compliance with regulatory requirements. It also oversees risk management, internal controls, and the performance of senior management. A key responsibility of the board is to safeguard the interests of policyholders and ensure the financial soundness of the company. Key management personnel, KMPs, are senior executives who are responsible for the day-to-day management and implementation of the board's policies and strategies. This includes roles such as the CEO, CFO, compliance officer, and other senior officials. KMPs ensure that business operations are carried out efficiently and in accordance with legal and regulatory frameworks. They are also responsible for maintaining proper internal controls, managing risks, and ensuring timely reporting to the board and regulators. While the board provides oversight and direction, KMPs execute plans and ensure operational effectiveness. Together, they play a crucial role in maintaining transparency, accountability, and good governance within the organization. Q4. Explain with suitable examples the functions of the ALM committee. Answer. The Asset Liability Management (ALM) Committee is responsible for managing the financial risks arising from mismatches between assets and liabilities in an insurance company. Its primary function is to ensure that the company has sufficient liquidity to meet its obligations, such as claim payments, while also optimizing returns on investments. One of the key functions of the ALM committee is to monitor and manage interest rate risk. For example, if an insurer has long-term liabilities, such as life insurance policies, but invests in short-term assets, it may face reinvestment risk. The ALM committee ensures that asset durations are aligned with liability durations to minimize such risks. Another function is liquidity management. For instance, the committee ensures that enough liquid assets are available to meet sudden claims or policy surrenders. It also monitors market risks and currency risks, especially for insurers with international exposures. The ALM committee regularly reviews financial reports, stress tests different scenarios, and makes strategic decisions regarding asset allocation. By doing so, it helps maintain financial stability, ensures solvency, and protects policyholders' interests. Effective ALM practices are essential for the long-term sustainability of insurance companies. Q5. List out the compliance requirements under FEMA for insurance companies. Answer. The Foreign Exchange Management Act, FEMA, lays down guidelines for managing foreign exchange transactions in India, and insurance companies must comply with these regulations when dealing with foreign investments and transactions. One key requirement is adherence to foreign investment limits, where insurance companies must ensure that foreign direct investment, FDI, stays within the prescribed cap set by the government. Insurance companies must also comply with reporting requirements to the Reserve Bank of India, RBI, regarding foreign transactions, including inflows and outflows of funds. They are required to maintain proper documentation and records of all foreign exchange dealings to ensure transparency and accountability. Another important requirement is compliance with guidelines related to repatriation of profits and dividends. Insurers must ensure that such transactions are conducted in accordance with FEMA regulations. Additionally, any cross-border reinsurance arrangements must comply with FEMA provisions and RBI guidelines. Non-compliance with FEMA can lead to penalties and legal consequences. Therefore, insurance companies must establish robust internal controls and compliance systems to monitor foreign exchange transactions and ensure adherence to all applicable regulations. Q6. Explain the underwriting policy features for trade credit insurance products. Answer. Underwriting policy for trade credit insurance products involves assessing the creditworthiness of buyers and determining the level of risk associated with insuring trade receivables. The primary objective is to protect businesses against the risk of non-payment by buyers due to insolvency or default. One of the key features of underwriting in trade credit insurance is thorough risk assessment. Insurers evaluate the financial health, payment history, and industry conditions of buyers before approving coverage. For example, a company with a strong credit history may be assigned a higher credit limit, while a high-risk buyer may receive limited or no coverage. Another feature is the setting of credit limits for each buyer, which defines the maximum exposure the insurer is willing to cover. Continuous monitoring is also essential, as the financial condition of buyers can change over time. Insurers may revise credit limits or withdraw coverage based on updated risk assessments. The underwriting policy also includes diversification of risk across different buyers and industries to minimize concentration risk. Additionally, clear terms and conditions are specified regarding claims, exclusions, and premium payments. These features ensure effective risk management and help maintain the financial stability of the insurer. Q7. Ideally, insurance operations cannot be outsourced. Justify. Answer. Insurance operations involve critical functions such as underwriting, claims settlement, risk assessment, and customer servicing, which directly impact policyholders' interests. Ideally, these core activities should not be outsourced because the insurer remains fully accountable for all actions, even if performed by third parties. Outsourcing such functions may lead to loss of control, reduced service quality, and increased operational and compliance risks. Regulators like IRDAI emphasize that while outsourcing can be used for non-core or support functions, core insurance activities must remain under the direct supervision of the insurer. This is because these activities require specialized expertise, confidentiality, and adherence to strict regulatory standards. For example, outsourcing claims processing without proper oversight could lead to unfair claim settlements, harming customer trust and the company's reputation. Additionally, outsourcing increases risks related to data security, confidentiality, and dependency on external vendors. If service providers fail to meet regulatory or operational standards, the insurer is still held responsible. Therefore, insurers must exercise caution and ensure robust monitoring mechanisms. In conclusion, while outsourcing can improve efficiency in certain areas, core insurance operations should ideally remain in-house to maintain control, ensure compliance, and protect policyholders' interests. Q8. What is anti-money laundering and what are the requirements as mandated by IRDAI for AML? Answer. Anti-money laundering, AML, refers to the set of laws, regulations, and procedures designed to prevent criminals from using financial systems, including insurance products, to conceal illegally obtained funds. In the insurance sector, AML measures are essential to detect and prevent activities such as money laundering and terrorist financing. The Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India, IRDAI, mandates several AML requirements for insurers. These include the implementation of Know Your Customer, KYC, procedures to verify the identity of clients and assess their risk profiles. Insurers must conduct customer due diligence, CDD, at the time of onboarding and carry out ongoing monitoring of transactions to detect suspicious activities. Insurance companies are required to maintain detailed records of transactions and report suspicious transactions to the Financial Intelligence Unit, FIUINT. They must appoint a designated principal officer responsible for AML compliance and establish internal controls and policies for effective monitoring. Additionally, IRDAI requires insurers to conduct regular training programs for employees to ensure awareness of AML guidelines. Non-compliance can result in severe penalties and reputational damage. Overall, AML requirements help enhance transparency, prevent financial crimes, and ensure the integrity of insurance operations. Q9. What are the guidelines for opening up of new places of business for insurers? Answer. Insurance companies must follow specific regulatory guidelines when opening new places of business to ensure proper supervision and compliance with legal requirements. The Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India, IRDAI, provides a framework for establishing new branches, offices, or business centers. Insurers are generally required to obtain prior approval or follow a file and use procedure, depending on the nature and location of the new office. They must ensure that the proposed branch has adequate infrastructure, trained personnel, and systems to carry out insurance operations effectively. The objective is to ensure that customer service standards and regulatory compliance are maintained across all locations. Additionally, insurers must comply with reporting requirements by informing IRDAI about the opening or closure of branches within the prescribed timelines. They must also ensure that all operations conducted at these locations adhere to regulatory norms, including customer protection, grievance redressal, and record keeping. The guidelines also emphasize expanding into underserved and rural areas to improve insurance penetration. By following these norms, insurers can ensure controlled expansion, maintain operational efficiency, and provide consistent service quality across all branches. Q10. Outsourcing has to be leveraged. Do you agree? Give examples. Answer. Yes, outsourcing should be leveraged strategically by insurance companies to improve efficiency, reduce costs, and access specialized expertise. While core insurance functions should remain in-house, outsourcing non-core activities can help insurers focus on their primary business operations and enhance overall productivity. For example, insurers often outsource IT services such as data management, software development, and cybersecurity to specialized vendors. This allows them to benefit from advanced technology without heavy investment in infrastructure. Similarly, customer support services like call centers and back-office operations can be outsourced to improve service efficiency and reduce operational costs. Another example is outsourcing document processing or policy administration tasks, which can streamline operations and speed up service delivery. However, insurers must ensure proper due diligence, clear contractual agreements, and continuous monitoring of service providers to mitigate risks. Regulators like IRDAI allow outsourcing but require insurers to retain accountability and ensure compliance with all applicable regulations. Therefore, outsourcing, when used appropriately, can be a valuable tool for enhancing efficiency and competitiveness, provided it is supported by strong governance and risk management practices. Thanks to learn with us. You can find more study content on our website couture.com.